everyone, and welcome back to Caitlin's Corner. Today, as you can tell by the title of today's video, I am sharing some self-care tips. I thought this would be a really good follow-up to my study routine video because I know school is a very stressful time for many students out there, but I think it's important to, despite the fact that we're all busy with tests and assignments, that we take time for ourselves. Obviously though, I think self-care is important for everyone to practice, because I think if you are in a good headspace and you're taking time for yourself, that it bleeds into all areas of your life, especially with relationships. You just become a more present friend, a daughter, son, sibling, a partner. Needless to say, I think it's a really good habit to get into. So the tips I'm going to share in today's video, I'm pointing to my laptop. You can't see my laptop, it's not significant to you, don't know why I'm pointing to it. But the tips I'm sharing in today's video are just a collection of things that I will do regularly. I usually do 1 or 2, 3 if I'm in a particular crisis mode, and it just helps me stay motivated and keeping things in perspective. The rambling has finished. Let's dive into self-care tip numero uno. Those of you who have been around Caitlin's Corner for quite some time now know that one of my favorite things to do is meditate. I will admit that since being off of school, I don't feel like I've been meditating as much as I should, because even though I am sometimes going through stress during the summer, it's a different kind of stress. It's related to my business, so I enjoy it a lot more than the stress that comes with my grades and exams, things that kind of really just make my mind go ugh. But now that I'm starting school again, I definitely am going to be doing it a lot more regularly, because I find that when I do meditate, I'm a lot more aware of what's going on in here. I almost equate meditating as to running a virus scan on your computer. A meditation session is like a scan through your brain to see what thoughts maybe aren't gelling right. If you're having any negative emotions or feelings that are maybe affecting how you operate in your everyday life, then you can at least be aware of them so that you can start working to fix them. As you know, I really love using this app called Headspace. It has a lot of guided meditations, and they now have like these packs where you can even do meditation courses, I guess, geared to different things. So one of which is improving self-esteem, and I'm going to be starting that one really soon. The app will be linked in the description box below. I highly recommend giving it a look. I'm sure there's even a lot of guided meditations here on YouTube as well. My second self-care tip, ritual thing that I do is yoga, and this could mean any form of exercise. Yoga for me is my exercise of choice at the moment, because it combines physical exercise with meditation into one fun stretching on the floor thing. That was a great description for yoga. I definitely still deal with body image and insecurities, like I'm human, but I do find that when I'm being more physical regularly, I am just a lot kinder to myself. And who doesn't want to be kind to themselves? Like, you don't want to be a bully to yourself. You want to brighten yourself up, lift yourself up. You don't want to be the person that's tearing you down. And I will definitely have to rewatch this part of the video when I am back in school, because I know that exercise will definitely be the first thing to go when I am busy. So we're gonna try not doing that this year. My third self-care tip is to get inspired. I definitely go through slumps of not being motivated or just feeling sluggish. Like you don't really have the energy to do something meaningful with your day. One of the ways that I like to get inspired is by reading self-help books. I touched on this topic a lot in my reading routine. Currently, I am listening on Audible to the book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. I'm finding it really interesting right now, so I will have it linked down below. But whether you're reading or listening to a self-care book, for me, I always try and choose books that when I read the synopsis, it just speaks to me, it clicks, and then those books end up being the ones that really strike a chord with my life. I also like to get inspired by fueling my brain with inspirational content. So one of the ways I like to do this is through Pinterest. If you follow me on Pinterest, then you've seen all the boards that I have, And whenever I feel like I need a little bit of a pick-me-up, I'll go on Pinterest, and again, any photos that really speak to me, I'll pin to my board so that I can always go back to those boards for inspiration, whether it's for clothing or for bullet journaling or decor, you know, whatever area in my life, like I have a board for everything. So I find that really helpful. And kind of a real life version of the Pinterest board is a vision board. I personally have a vision door. Every once in a while I print images that reflect my goals or places I want to go, things that I want for my life, and it puts my day off to a really good start. It keeps me focused and motivated and just, you know, hungry to do something today that gets me closer to what I'm envisioning. And I find the vision board really great for me because during times when I feel uninspired or unmotivated, I find it's usually the result of losing sight of my purpose. So if I can be reminded every day of, you know, what the end goal is, I just find I don't let little things affect me as much. I hope that makes sense. Another self-care tip that I probably do a little too often is to treat yourself. I find this tip especially important during days when I'm feeling kind of down and I need a pick-me-up. So one of the first things I do when I feel like I need my mood to be brightened is go on an adventure for coffee. It's something so small, but it brings me so much joy, and just that alone can sometimes be enough to maybe not get rid of what is bothering me, but at least make it a little bit better. Sometimes I also go shopping, which won't lie, usually leads to bad decisions. So coffee is cheaper than, you know, doing a little bit of a shopping spree, so I try and stick to the coffee adventure. I do want to point out though that there are definitely times where I myself am like, you know what, Positive Polly has left the building today, and I just allow myself to be sad or upset, whatever emotion that I'm feeling. I think it's completely unrealistic to avoid all negative emotions, but I definitely don't think it's good to get in the habit of letting small things bring you down, and that's something even I'm working on still. My mom would confirm that. She's had many conversations with me where she's like, Caitlin, let it go. My last self-care tip that I do quite regularly is surprise, surprise bullet journaling. Today, I'm not gonna focus on so much of the planner aspect of bullet journaling. I'm gonna focus on the journaling aspect of bullet journaling. It's really easy to incorporate a lot of self-care pages into your spreads. Some of my favorites include a gratitude page where every day you write something you're grateful for. I think this is a great thing to do every day because, you know, you initially start off saying all the big things you're grateful for, family, friends, health, and those are so important. But I find that through doing these pages, I've become grateful for very little things. You could also do a goal tracker page so that you have something visually pushing you forward to reaching whatever goal you have. Or another page that I really love is a self-love page. I did this in February where every day, like the gratitude page, every day I wrote something, not that I was grateful for, but something that I loved about myself. It was quite emotional to realize that by day 15, you're like, okay, what the hell else is there to love? Again, kind of like the gratitude page, it ends up giving you an appreciation for little things about yourself that you should be showing love to. And that is all of the self-care tips I have for you today. I hope there was something in this video that inspired you to take a little bit more time out of your busy day to take care of yourself, because you are very important. If you liked this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And I'd love to hear in the comment section down below what are some of your self-care tips or pieces of advice. Honestly, I loved in the study tips video how everyone was sharing advice with one another and helping each other out. It makes me so happy. So if we could do that again with this video, I think that would be amazing. I will see all of you very soon with a new video, and until then, bye everyone.